Roger once again, looking at some interesting land formations, wondering how they may have occurred, and following them as they continue forward in a most interesting manner for an extended distance. And the texture and manner does not change a whole lot. Whatever it is, it's a strange structure, and I doubt highly that this was created by stress fractures and all the kind of things they talk about, tectonic, this and that. Now, as I go down and I go down and I go down, I look at this and I say, that's not something that, to me, I wouldn't expect to see that from tectonic things in the earth, would you? I don't know. To me, maybe I'm old-fashioned, I just don't understand tectonics. But as I come down through all this fluty-looking stuff, it ends up in a strange place. Hold on, let me turn this. Alright, so let's see where we were. We were coming down through all this fluty-looking stuff, and at the very end of it, you end up with this feature here. Now I don't know what that is, but it has the same looking effect as a creature that I found. Look at this little flare coming off the top here and the little side of his, what to me looks like maybe his head. He's got that little funny looking nose that the dragons had, and you know, who knows, that could be an eye. And he's spitting out some stuff, which I've seen this happen in another area. Let me show you that one, because that one is a lot easier to see. There's no vegetation, and this here could very well be his brother or his sister or maybe his uncle or somebody like that right down here, which is a dragon I've shown many times. But you see that funny looking nose? They all had that, I guess, and they have that flary same looking stuff. Not much of a difference in the texture and so forth. Of course, this is a desert. Now this dragon here is almost the same size as the one on the East Coast. They're almost 900, well, this one's over 900 miles. The other one's only, I think, 850 or so. But this one is leaching off of its dead, decaying body. So I would say that this dragon, you know, has not been here long. I mean, you can see his dragon-scaled throat. And I don't think he's been here laying in this desert for very long, because there's just not that big of a pattern of decay, which you would expect if he had been here for millions of years, which I'm sure they're going to say, and the geologists and so forth, because they're not going to even think this is a dragon. But I don't know, I have a hard time thinking that's not a dragon. And especially when you get to the other end of his dragon-scaled throat, through his dragon body, and past his dragon legs, and through his red dragon runoff to his red dragon-scaled decaying tail. I'd say that pretty much sews it up. And then you get to that same flary looking fluty stuff, you know? That's at the end of his whippy looking tail. It's way out here. See it? See that stuff? That's it. That's the same looking stuff we saw over there in the United States. They had that little flashy thing on the end, you know. Anyway, and of course then there's the fish over here, and the Atlantis is over here. So what you got to do is get up there and take a look at Mudfossil University. But let me take you through some other stuff real quickly. All right, here's, you know, if you're here watching this video, you probably already know about Mudfossil University, but you should absolutely tell everyone you know to go up here and find out about reality, because it's reality. And this right here is another story about the dragons and the revelations that were in history, and how tall were giants, and the things that were written in history, and geology is gynecology. And I'll show you something, because the next video is going to be on a new one, which was what I was exploring when I discovered whatever it is that I discovered on the East Coast here. Hold on a second, I'll show you. Fallopian tubes in stone. Alright, Ruby Falls is where it is, and this is what they call tobacco leaves. This is the fallopian tubes, the tips of the fallopian tubes. And this is a huge, gigantic vagina. And there is plenty of them on Earth. All the women had them. You see the fallopian tubes? They're right there. They suck the eggs in, and then the egg travels down and implants in the uterus if it becomes fertilized, and if not, it comes out in that monthly cycle. Now, there's also, this is the structure of the vaginal tissue, and then there is what they call the vaginal vestibule, which is in front of the tube, which is the vaginal canal. Hold on a second. You see that? That's the vaginal tissue. It's like a ring that runs around it. And this is the vestibule, they call it. And this is the Ruby Falls Vaginal Cave. And that is the vestibule of the vagina. And that is the vaginal tissue, the vaginal canal. And water is flowing out of here from pressures in the ground through orifices in the ground. That's what creates springs and artesian wells. They're literally arteries, and they're different. You know, it's leaking from somewhere through some arterial passageways and ends up discharging through the vaginal canal in this case. Now, and this is not unusually large. I'm going to tell you something right now. What is impossible? No, it is not. I'm going to show, well, I'm going to leave it for another video because there's just so much to this. I mean, I have dozens of pictures of extremely, perfectly hard to dismiss anatomy. And all the stuff that I have myself is all DNA certified. So this is what you should be doing, is looking on my, Mudfossil University YouTube, because it's updated daily, and you got to go up there, sign up, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things you got to do to get the updates. And because this is now being finally starting to be not, I'm not being assaulted as much anymore. Let's put it that way. You wouldn't believe the gauntlet I ran for years, and now I feel like they're starting to back down a little bit, and that's smart, because it's really totally unscientific whatsoever to just dismiss something without looking at it. And trust me, I have done the work, and this is 100% valid, certified, unimpeachable.